Welcome to the online school for becoming a professional counselor. Today I would like to talk about the most effective counseling method in 2025, framework counseling. For counseling to help people feel better, it is important for the counselor to help the client think about themselves, rather than just giving them advice. Sometimes a counselor gives a client advice that makes the client very happy and very energized. However, advice can sometimes be good for a client, and sometimes it's bad. As the world changes and more people have different opinions, it's becoming increasingly difficult to give good advice to clients. Also, if you need advice, it's possible to get it from an AI instead of a counselor. Recently, many people are consulting the AI on their smartphones. When people do something, they are more likely to be satisfied with a method they have thought up themselves than one that has been given to them by someone else. Therefore, counselors help clients think about themselves, so that they can put into practice the answers they find and feel better. However, many recent counseling techniques have forgotten to help clients think about themselves. The framework counseling method that we will introduce here is a method that effectively achieves the goal of helping clients think about themselves. When people are worried about something and consult a counselor, they talk about what's bothering them. However, troubled clients don't know what to talk about with the counselor and are unable to organize their thoughts in their heads. So what a client has in mind during a counseling session is fragile and subject to change. Therefore, counselors need to conduct counseling sessions without disrupting what the client has in mind, so that the client can easily think about what is going on in their own mind. The framework counseling method is a method of conducting counseling sessions without disrupting what the client has in mind. For example, I've been working in accounting at my current company for 6 months. When I was working in accounting at my previous company, people at work praised me a lot. But at my current company, I don't get praised very often. In fact, the head of the accounting department always gets angry at me. When a client says this, the first thing on their mind when they finish is her boss scolding her. If you respond with something like, "I heard you were highly praised by coworkers at your previous company," the client's imagination will be shattered. Then, even if you ask, "Have you talked to anyone about the things they're scolding you for?" or "What kind of work do you do in accounting?" the client's imagination will be shattered. However, if you respond by saying, "You always get scolded by the head of the accounting department," the client's imagination will not go away. Even if the client temporarily imagines something different during the counseling session and the original image disappears, they can simply return to the original image and imagine the scene they were originally thinking about. This is the framework counseling method, in which you consider what the client is thinking and then think about how to respond. This method helps clients think for themselves, arrive at solutions based on their own ideas, rather than those given to them by others, and reach conclusions that they can accept on their own. However, some people may think that just thinking about what comes to the client's mind won't lead to progress or new perspectives. However, even if the thinking is advanced or new, it's important that it's the client's own idea, not a way of thinking imposed by someone else. The techniques taught in this practical counseling class allow clients to consider new perspectives and ways of thinking, all without destroying what's already in the client's head. The fantasy substitution method, affirmative element extraction method, goal induction method, and third-person projection methods taught in this class all allow clients to discover new perspectives and ways of thinking without destroying the ideas they have in their heads. If you would like to learn more about counseling methods, please contact us. The website can be accessed via the following QR code. Thank you for your listening.